Craig, we've mentioned this before, a tough period at the moment,
Yeah.
3 games in the space of less than a week.
Yep.
We've already navigated 2 of them, though, successful victories,
Yep.
and now we take on Bala Town on Friday evening.
Yeah, we've had a really good week so far, but the week hasn't finished yet. Obviously it was a fantastic result up in Falkirk, right up there with one of the best nights in football I've had, full stop. Then obviously we had a really good professional performance on Tuesday against Newtown. Thought we're really comfortable, and I thought we're very unfortunate not to probably score a few more goals. Andy Wychley, former player of ours, has made 3 or 4 great saves and a little bit of wasted opportunities on ourselves. But to be honest, you get the last half an hour and you're winning 3-0. We just wanted to get through the game and not get any injuries ready for Friday. And so yeah, now Bala, Bala away, really tough. Got a lot of respect for Bala. Colin's a very good manager, been in the job a long time. He's got good people with him, and a bit of a transitional period with some of the older players leaving. He's brought some good players in, and and they look like they're gelling together, and they're starting a new sort of era or a journey with with a lot of different players coming together, with still having some very good players like Newell and Pete and Naeem, etc. To name just a few, coming been there for a long time as well. So yeah, and obviously as well, it was the last team I don't think we scored against. So yeah, it's going to be a tough game. We know that it's always a tough game against Bala. So yeah, we would be well prepared.
You made 6 changes for the game against Newtown.
Yeah.
As the fact that you've got such a good squad available at your disposal, a big positive in this particular spell of the 3 games in 6 days?
Yeah, the timing's been impeccable, really, for lack of injuries. We've had a few injuries as we've went along, but it worked out fortunately for ourselves that we've had no injuries apart from Ryan Astles as a long-term one. For the time when we needed, for everyone to play their huge part in this 6 days. So yeah, it's been great. The players that come in, like I said, the all experienced players. It's great for Deck to get back in. 90 minutes. He's obviously been frustrated. He's timing of coming back from injury. He gets 2 goals, which is fantastic from Deck's point of view. He gets 90 minutes under his belt. Obviously, Jordan Marsh has took a while. Sis is Sis. He's an experienced player. He's still a very good player and score your goals and causes a real threat. Ben Clark coming back from injury as well. Danny Williams was outstanding on the night, fantastic. Thoroughly deserved his man of the match award, and obviously Blaine Hudson. Blaine's a very experienced, top player. So we're very fortunate that we've got them players at the football club, which make the competition levels really high, and B, that we didn't have any injuries that week. Because if it had been maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago and we had 5 or 6 injuries, then it could have been a different week. But now it's worked out really well. You're probably going to say well done to the medical staff and Daniel from the sports science side. So they deserve all the plaudits for getting everyone fit and ready to play this week.
You mentioned a number of players there who came in on Tuesday.
Yeah.
How does that then affect your selection process as we look ahead to the Bala game? It must be a very difficult decision to make in terms of who do you leave out as opposed to sometimes who do you include?
Yeah, we've always spoke about it, and I still stick to it every time. It's the hardest part of the job. Like I said, repeat myself, I've been a player myself, been left out plenty of times, played plenty of times, been really good friends with people that I played in front of, been really good friends with people that played in front of me and had tight groups, and I understand that it's probably the worst bit of football, that and long-term injuries. When you train all week and then you don't start games, it's really frustrating. So that's up to myself and the staff to manage them, but with the games coming thick and fast, we've got another game in a week's time down at Britain Ferry. So, there'll be plenty of minutes to go around. And same again, though, it's a really important game for us because it's the next game. Falkirk was important, Newtown was important, but as we stand right here, right now, Bala away is the most important game of the season because the next one. So we'll have a look this morning. The players had yesterday off. We'll regroup this morning and we'll see how people are feeling. And we'll get some people on the pitch, some people in recovery, ready to prepare for the game tomorrow night.
And the victory against Newtown means that we're now 17 points clear at the top of the table. Connors Quay, second place. They don't play till Saturday. That gives us the opportunity to go 20 clear. That's a healthy position to be in.
Yeah, it really is. It's a great opportunity to really push ourselves even further forward. You know, to cement our first place and keep the distance as big as possible. It's a psychological and a huge advantage if we can go, and it's great for something. You know, there's always something to play for. Anybody that plays in one of my teams has something to play for, even in training, and demand the high standards. But to go out there knowing that we could be coming off that pitch with a professional performance and possibly a win if we do everything right, then we're 20 points ahead of our nearest rivals with 8 games to play, then it puts us in a really, really good position.
And obviously Ryan Astor's a long-term injury.
Yeah.
What's the update on him?
Yeah, Ryan's had surgery a couple of weeks ago, so it's just going to be, you know, a long road to recovery. Really, I think, you know, 6 to 9 months possibly. You know, 6 probably being the best, 9 probably being the worst. You know, he hasn't been in the club. He was at the club on Tuesday, so it's good to see Ryan. You know, I think it's just going to be really important that Ryan keeps coming into the club and keeps mixing with the players and the staff, and to keep him. You know, it can be a very lonely place. Like I said, you know, I've experienced that myself as well. Unfortunately, I was out for 18 months with an injury, had 3-4 operations, and never fully recovered from it. You know, and that was a long time ago with a more complex injury. Ryan's had a really good surgeon do the operation. He's got really good rehab with Phil, you know, and James. So, and the club will be supporting him as much as he can. So I think it's for Ryan, it's as much as it's a mental battle as much as a physical one, which, you know, everybody, staff, teammates, club, will be supporting them along that road as well, because it's really important. You know, we talk about being on a fantastic winning streak up until Ryan got injured. I think he played every game to that. So he's played a really important part of the season so far. So it's just keeping Ryan mentally positive and switched on, and then he's got a battle ahead of him, but nothing that Ryan can't overcome. You know, he's a strong boy. He's experienced. He's not like a young lad. He knows. He understands professional football, understands injuries, and understands that. You know, he'll be back before we know it. And he'll be as strong as ever he has been.
As we've referenced already, a healthy lead at the top of the table.
Yeah.
We've dropped points from just 2 games so far. One of those draws was against Bala Town. Yeah. Does that create an extra incentive to put that right, if you like, when we travel to their Maestegen on Friday?
Yeah, it was a really strange game, wasn't it? You know, obviously, I'd got sent off. One of their members of staff got sent off. Sis got sent off, and one of their players got sent off. It was quite feisty, and which is always competitive. You know, Collins teams are always very competitive, and so we expect it to be a really tough game. And yeah, I think it may be a little bit, because I think domestically all season they're the only team that we've not scored against. So yeah, it'd be nice to go there and get a victory and keep our winning roll going and unbeaten run going. So yeah, it's I don't think you need any more extra incentive. You know, the players are very professional with everything they do, and they understand that, you know, if they're not putting everything in training and in games, then they won't be in the team for very long. So yeah, it'll be exactly the same as it's always been. We'll be going there to try and win the game, as we always do.
And finally, Craig, you mentioned the winning run there.
Yeah.
We thought that we'd equal the 27 on Tuesday night, but there's been a mix-up with the Guinness World Records themselves. So we're back to 20, but nevertheless, would have been nice to have been in that position, but we're still in a great, healthy position overall. We're still unbeaten, and it's 20 games that we can still go at.
Yeah, I think all the media stuff I've done, I've referenced to it as well. You know, I wasn't convinced with it regarding, you know, with the penalties. You know, I believed that you had to be winning in the 90 minutes, and obviously we hadn't. You know, we went to penalties and won the game. So yeah, it's nothing. You know, nothing's different. It doesn't really, like I said, I wasn't getting overly excited about it because it wasn't. It was just when it was, you know, confirmed by Guinness Book of World Records after the game on Tuesday. But still, you know, haven't made a huge thing about it. So really, it's one of them things that obviously would have been nice, but we already currently hold the record. So I think it would have been a little bit different if we had been given the false information. Someone else held the record, and we got a bit excited, etc., etc. But yeah, we are quite happy to fall back onto our own record, and it's a great incentive for this current group of players. Great incentive, because obviously the previous ones, it's a special thing, for myself, for the players, for the club, and now to get the, to beat the 20. It's a gauntlet thrown down from myself, the staff, that can this current group of players go and equal or go past the crop of, I think it was a 15, 16, which was a very good crop of players as well. So yeah, it is what it is. I wasn't getting too carried away with it anyway. We've still got a lot of work to do. We still need to win the league. We still want to win the Welsh Cup, and we still want to win the Challenge Cup. So all them things were much higher on the agenda for me and the staff than breaking our own world record.